Alright, hello everybody. This, unlike every other video I've had so far, is just the end of an amazing week. I did a lot of things right. I didn't overtrade. Finally just come together for this first week. So yeah, I got 4 trades. I just want to go over them real quick. TOPS was my first trade on Monday. This is Friday. All the shippers, most of the shippers are taking off, especially DCIX and TOPS here. It had its spike and came down. And so I played this morning spike here, getting in around 139 here on this actually red candle, and then selling up here in the 160s right before this this halt. And let's go over to why I bought there, because I'm scared to chase these because they have just crazy volatility and there's hardly any room for risk management. So DCIX, this was the big winner on Friday, right here. This is Friday. Went up and came down. Pre-market here, it's uptrending a lot, and you can see the first 4 minutes of the open, it went from 1550 roughly to 23. So I was watching that percentage gain when I was thinking about trading tops, because tops is not as volatile, or it's volatile, it's not so much volume and a lower price. So you can see it definitely has a lot of green candles here. DCIX was a lot faster. So because this is a sympathy play to DCIX, I saw that DCIX was up like 100 or 200% on the day, and I can see it was uptrending quite quickly, and I knew this would follow suit. So that's why I bought in the 139s without a solid or a defined risk level, because as sympathy play, so I figured I would keep going, and it ended up doing that. Happy I got out before the halt, because again, it tanked right after and came back, but you never really know what's going to happen. So that was a quick 16% right there. So I was happy with that. My next trade was SHIP, another one of the sector plays. And I was playing this, what day was it? So this was that same, this was actually a Tuesday, because here we had the Friday. This is when everything spiked up. This is when I played tops on the Monday. So this is a Tuesday, and these are still hot, these shippers. As you can see, the big pre-market spike, that was massive. And then I was holding this range kind of 175 and 150 to 175 here. And my thought process was kind of the same thing. If it breaks out here for it, or if it comes down here, I'm going to either dip buy or buy the breakout, as long as the other shippers are still moving. So at the open here, we did tank down, and we held support. And I think I got in this second, so I guess 1 minute into the open right here, pretty close to the bottom actually, at 155. I guess maybe not so close. 155, risking off 150. So decently tight risk. And it came up here, and then it was coming back down. So it never actually reached its 175 top. So that was concerning at first. And when it came back down here, I wanted to risk off the open. And the open here was 157. So it was super tight, but I mean, I think it was worth it at the time. So even though DCIX and tops was running for the first part of the 7th, this just got stuffed. It couldn't do anything. So when it came back down here, I got out for, 2 cents, 57, just because it wasn't breaking out and it wasn't doing anything. So when in doubt, get out. I didn't like that price action here. So that was a bust, and I guess I played it right, because it didn't ever break out again. Moving on then to ONCS. Let me pull this up really quick. So this was a short. Let's go to So here is it uptrended a ton pre-market, creating it was topping around 245. If we look at 250 long-term support on this, if we go back, let's see, 3 years, you have you have this range. You can see it topped around 250 later on, but you have all this consolidation here, and that's a major resistance level. So I never thought it could actually really break too far out of here. I thought that going into the day, and especially when it spiked all up pre-market and topped around that same point, and then kind of came down. So it did have a little spike up here, roughly the same point. And I was risking, I guess mainly I was risking off this top, but I wouldn't mind risking off the 250s just because there's so much resistance there again. But my thought process was it double topped here, so spiked, came down, went back up, double top, and then when I was coming down here, I entered at roughly 212, and I think my risk going into it was this double top lows, so roughly the 220-ish, maybe even 219. And my risk on these, especially shorting, is super tight because I'm scared of anything squeezing me out like ridiculously higher. So I would try to play them pretty conservatively. I knew because you can say it triple topped up here and it had so much resistance. I just thought it would bounce back down all the way down. But this, again, 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, it squeezed me out because it got above my tight risk. Maybe it's too tight. I don't know. I was just playing it really safe. But I was proud of myself that I was on the right track because, 10 minutes later, it does come back down to the 180s, low 180s. So I could have had a little bit of gain. Not a big deal, but I'm glad to know that I was on the right track. I guess my entry could have been better, or I could have had a bigger risk. I could have risked up to 225, or even, I guess 225 would have been the best with all this resistance here. Yeah, but I don't really mind too much. I was on the right track, and that I really take that home as a win. So this was technically a loss, but we can move on to the last play. This was actually my best play. This was a short, and I was getting in on, so back here it spiked a ton from roughly 70 to 104, right into the close, and it had a little bit of action and after hours, and this morning right here, it wasn't doing much, but it was obviously coming down a bit. It had that extra spike up that I'm pretty aware that happens with these gapping traps or spike and just come back down. They'll have a little spike at the open normally, which you can say kind of double topped ish, kind of in this range. And I got in right at 1. So I was getting in on this backside right here. I got pretty lucky because I'm using E-Trade. E-Trade can only short when it's over $1 or $1. So I got perfectly right here at $1, and I was risking off, I was risking off this 110, which is kind of a bigger risk, but there is a ton of resistance in this range from all around here, and you see a bunch of spikes that just top out. That was the other thing that I liked going into it. All these have blow off tops and they come back down. They might have another day following it, like this red day. It blow off tops, and then it comes way down. You can see that with most of these, they have, they finish lower the next day, is what I'm trying to say. That happens a ton. So I wasn't concerned with the secondary spike. Wasn't concerned at all. I was a little nervous as what I would actually risk off of. actually, to come to think of it, I shorted in here because I was scared that it would just panic right away and not have the spike, but it did have a spike. And really and truly, I was risking off this 110. So then it came down, and I was considering covering here in the 84s, but then I realized this thing is up from before it started. I guess we can count it here in roughly like the high 60s or low 70s. And I'm thinking, if this thing's a piece of junk, it's got more downside than 80 cents, 82 cents. So I held all through here. Actually, this would have been the best time to cover, would be into the close. I still didn't. I had kind of a dumb excuse. I wanted to save my extra day trade because I can only short here on E-Trade. But I figured it would kind of spike back up or gap up for this third day. Then again, it came down. I ended up covering in the 72 area, which is right in here. So all in all, 28%, which is crazy for me. On a short too, I'm just getting the hang of some shorts here. But all in all, a great week. I'm super happy with it. Everything kind of came together. Happy to see what I do next week. And hopefully I can just stick by my rules and keep these trades consistently profitable in terms of percent wise, and then I can start sizing up. So thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I can do another one of these positive videos next week.